I'm Baldwin, the Deputy Editor at the Caterer, and thank you so much for joining us for this Living Life in Hospitality video as part of our This Is Hospitality campaign we're running at the Caterer. Today I am joined by Lily Kai, the co-founder of boutique Caterer The Dinner Ladies. Thank you so much for joining us, Lily. How are you doing?
Really good, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your story and what opportunities the industry has given you.
Gosh, so many. Emily and I started the business 10 years ago and we didn't come from a hospitality background, so I think the industry has given us an amazing opportunity to be involved with something and create something of our own that feels very authentic to us. So we're all about Dinner Ladies female empowerment and nurturing team environment, and creating something that's very different and innovative has always been important to us. So I think, it's given me the opportunity to create a brand that I really care about and has some amazing values and hopefully helps support young people as well.
Your branding, of course, is just so distinctive and memorable, and the name Dinner Ladies, so is that kind of ties into the fact that it's a female-founded business?
Yeah, definitely. It plays on that, and I think also it's just a fun, nurturing name. I don't think you forget it very easily, and gives you a nostalgic feeling, back to those childhood days, that warm, fuzzy feeling. So
everyone remembers their favourite dinner lady.
Yeah, hopefully, or your worst.
Yeah, definitely the favourite. So what's the most memorable moment that's happened to you while working in hospitality?
I think getting some of our first contracts has been amazing. I think building a grassroots kind of brand, being, independent and self-funded, I think getting the opportunity to work at some of London's leading venues and trusted in those spaces has been an incredible opportunity, and I think very memorable for a team of our size and our also, expertise to kind of win that and secure that has been amazing.
And that moment that brought you into hospitality, talk us through that, because you say neither of you were from a hospitality background or hospital families or anything. What brought you into this amazing industry?
Yeah, so we met at university and we went to live together in China. We spent a lot of time sort of eating there and sharing an interest on food. And whilst we were there, I think we really discovered that we had this passion, and we came back and we wanted to create something special for people to experience together. And it started with supper clubs, and those were experiences where we brought people into a room, strangers, to enjoy something collectively. It goes back to that shared experience and creating memories and food through memories as well. Once we sort of established those supper clubs, we then really built on the experience. I think people were saying that they would pay more for the event, and the business was really built from there. So we played on our strengths and our backgrounds, but we didn't necessarily come from lots of training other companies. Yeah, clearly foodies, exactly.
So was there ever a moment where you were like, we could go down the restaurant route versus the catering route, and was there a moment where you had to choose?
Yeah, definitely. We've come across lots of different opportunities over the years, definitely also in event-based fields and items like that. But I think, honing in on what we're about has been a goal over the last few years, and trying not to be a jack of all trades, which is quite tempting when you're a young business as well, but you need to really find your direction and your flow. And I feel now that we're moving into this contract space, it feels right for us as a brand.
And you've won quite a few contracts recently. Congratulations. How is it working in that contract catering space?
I think it's just being part of these iconic spaces that have maybe had setups for the last 30 or 40 years, and breaking into them as a dynamic caterer has been amazing, because it's showing that the industry is ready for a bit of change, and they're valuing, independent brands, brands that have the energy and excitement to create something new. So I think that's really exciting, and just being given the responsibility really to work very closely with one particular venue means that you can really make a stamp, make an impression, which is really exciting.
Really coming in as that disruptor.
Yes, yeah.
And what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given when you've been setting up this business?
In terms of ideas, a good idea is never an easy one. It's always going to be quite tough. Yeah. And I think as a young brand, it's especially difficult to know which direction to go in, and it just understanding and accepting that it is going to be hard and you can get through it, and to celebrate those smaller wins that you do get with your team, I think can be incredibly rewarding.
What about a little known misconception about the industry? What is something that you think that people outside the industry think of when they think of hospitality that isn't actually true?
I think a lot of people see hospitality as an in-between career point, a sort of summer job or something that's not going to last very long. But we're really passionate about at Dinner Ladies is showing that it can be a long-term career and it can be really fruitful. And I think people just don't see outside of that, initial service part. I don't understand that there can be so many different roles, marketing, content creation, different levels of chefs, back of house, warehouse. It's such a varied career and it can be so fruitful. So yeah, we're really hoping that we can inspire young people to work within the industry again. And I think the most important part of that is to reflect on how we can make it a really positive working environment. I think it has historically come with a lot of labels of 60-hour weeks and stressful male-dominated environments. And I think if you can work hard to create that nurturing, safe space for employees who can get their good work-life balance, who can support, childcare, who can, have families and, do all of it, then that's pretty amazing. And to sort of get rid of this preconception that it's just a part-time fix, I guess.
100%. Only walking through your offices now, you've got to say 20 odd people working for the business now, and such a youthful energy, really cool offices in Camden, and you've got your kitchen here where everything's made up. It's not what you would necessarily think of as a traditional place to maybe work in this industry. Tell us, how are you, those people in the office that we just walked past, how are you going about nurturing them and helping them progress?
Yeah, so we're quite strict on our 40-hour working week for chefs and office team. So that means that they get time off in lieu or paid overtime to a cap, but it just means that we can keep that work-life balance for everyone. So that's something that we're really passionate about. We also are passionate about our perks and we review those annually. So we want to make sure that we've got the right things for our team that actually mean something to them, not just a list of things that we thought of years ago. It's refreshed and it reflects the team and any new people as well and what they care about. So a recent one for us has been a workplace nursery scheme that we've included. We've got a lot of young mums on the team, so something that they can do is offset their nursery payments, because it's tough. It's really tough.
It really is tough. And I guess a lot of that is listening to your team, like what do they want, rather than just say projecting, here you go, here's your gym membership, but actually no, nursery is more important for us right now, and really listening to your team.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of these people practices are clearly come into, you just got B Corp certification recently, that's one of the pillars, and more widely on the sustainability front. Congratulations, so you know that's really a slog to get to that point. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I think it's just such a good accolade, and I think it focuses not just on sustainability and improving our systems for the future, but also it's got a massive community aspect, and we managed to score really highly on that community aspect for some of the work we do with Sharing Plates, which is an initiative we set up to support our community in Camden. We feed vulnerable Londoners outside Camden Tube Station, which is great. And we also put in place things for our team, and that really fed into that community piece. So B Corp is not just about the amazing work that you do for the environment, but it's also a culture, and it also protects the brand in the long term. So you have to make commitments that your brand, whatever happens to it, will stay solid on those values. So that's why we felt it was the right thing for us to do, and I think it's an amazing opportunity and celebration moment as well for the team to come together and be really proud of the company that they work for, and always be challenging themselves to think of ways that we can be better, because we're not perfect and it's difficult to be very sustainable in hospitality, but if we can each make those small adjustments, we can make overall such an impact.
Talk to us a little bit about this Sharing Plates initiative, because this is a hospitality campaign, it leads into the community. You say your HQ is in Camden. Where did that idea come from? Why was it important to you?
Yeah, so we saw, obviously, food waste is a massive part of this industry, and it does happen. And we thought about ways that we could repurpose that in a meaningful way. So we use some of our waste that's generated in the kitchen, but we also get donations from Felix Project, who donate from supermarkets, and we turn that produce into something nutritious for vulnerable Londoners. And we just give it out outside Camden Tube Station with a charity partner called Streets Kitchen. They're really amazing. They just set up where's needed and really react to the problem. So we get everyone involved in the company. Some of our clients and venue partners will come and help us cook, and it's a really wholesome experience. Not obviously just doing something great, but I think for the individual as well, it it's very rewarding all round.
And what is the best mistake you've made in your career?
There are a lot. Every mistake teaches you something. You know, we've never pretended to be the most experienced people in the room, but I think if you can accept the mistakes with grace and learn from them every single time, and I really encourage that with my team, you know, not to be a finger pointing or blaming culture, but sort of coming together and understanding how we can improve for next time. And you know, mistakes are normal. Emily and I once sent out kimchi as a nice gift to all of our venues and all clients, and it sort of, we put it in a jar that was too small and it sort of eroded over the Christmas
didn't explode,
holidays.
did it? Like a kind of sourdough starter explosion.
Exactly. It was like a fart pack. And I mean, you know, that's just a classic example of it. Just sometimes it just goes wrong.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can say. People thought that we were pranking them, but it shows that make you think, okay, never again, and how we can build and you know, give a better gift next time.
I mean, I bet you weren't laughing at the time when you were getting those emails, but a good dinner party story going forward, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lily, it's always so lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining us to talk about your career at Dinner Ladies today. It's been so fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. This is hospitality.